The exodus of ethnic Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh is dwindling to a trickle now. People who are arriving say that most of those who'd been living in Nagorno-Karabakh, in that mountainous enclave, have now left. Those who wish to leave, only very few remaining, we're told. And here in Goris, which had been a major humanitarian hub, well, things have quietened down quite considerably. There is a registration centre where people arriving from Nagorno-Karabakh sign up for help. But in previous days, there'd been crowds and crowds of people filling up this square. But they are now being relodged in hotels, in empty apartments, lodging with family or acquaintances elsewhere in Armenia. And the roads of Armenia are full of these trucks and cars we've been seeing packed high with belongings, with the rest of people's lives, as they try and find where to go to set up and rebuild their lives. There's a lot of grief and despair among people here, but we've seen now the vast majority of ethnic Armenians having left Nagorno-Karabakh.
We're watching as we talk to you some of the footage of people, just the amount of people in and around Goris leaving from Karabakh as well by that one road on the Lachin corridor. What about the people who are going and coming your way and talking about what they've left behind? Because to try and step back from this, imagine a whole region just disappearing, emptying itself out, lives turned upside down, presumably businesses abandoned, farmers leaving cattle behind. What are you hearing?
Well, from the people we've been speaking to, there's a huge sense of loss. Farmers who've lost the land that they'd been farming for generations, people leaving homes where they'd been living for decades. The most painful, though, among people we speak, is leaving behind the graves of deceased relatives who'd lived and died in Nagorno-Karabakh. And that is something that, brings people to tears quite frequently when they say that they all took out photographs of relatives. That was very important for them to keep those memories. But they've left behind the buried remains of loved ones, and that's something which is extremely painful for a lot of these ethnic Armenians. People telling us that some of them, that they hope, beyond hope, that they maybe will be able to return, but others with a feeling of despair that this really is the end of an era and they'll never be able to go back to this land, which some of them say is kind of holy for them, their holy land, the land of their ancestors, and with just such deep attachment to it. Now, it is inside the internationally recognized borders of Azerbaijan, but for the people who've left it, they just feel such a deep attachment to this and the things that they've left behind. When you see the belongings piled onto the trucks and cars, there's chairs, tables, bicycles, blankets and things like that. But there are some things which people, and memories which people just haven't been able to bring with them.